Mamakaz back in the kitchen. So today we're going to be making a simple store cupboard stew made with things that you can find in your cupboard. It's a Mexican bean stew and it's really tasty. So if you want to know how to make it, keep watching. Okay guys, so for this recipe you're going to need a tin of black beans, a tin of chickpeas, a tin of chopped tomatoes, some kidney beans, paprika, chilli powder, ground coriander, ground cumin, ground turmeric if you have it, some veg stock, an onion, a carrot, and a couple of cloves of garlic. Okay, so first I'm just going to peel the onion and cut it in half. I'm going to chop these in the blender to save time, so it doesn't really matter how they're chopped. I'll probably just do that. There we go. And peel this half as well. I'm really sorry about the dodgy camera angles, guys. I need to get a better, bigger tripod and some more space because I only have a tiny kitchen. There we go, that's that. I'll just chop the carrot roughly as well. Now, I mean, if you want to with this, you could add peppers, you could add other beans, you could add sweet corn. Anything that you fancy really, but this is a nice simple, easy to bung together sort of one pot jobby. Now if you don't have a blender like I have, then you can just grate these. Use a box grater, finely chop the onion, mince the garlic and just grate the carrot. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bung these in the blender just to chop them all up. Okay, so I'm just going to heat some oil in a pan. A nice big pan. You can use any sort of oil. I just use vegetable oil because that's what I usually have to hand. Oh, helps if you turn the right hob on. So turn that on, get that going. Meanwhile, I'm going to open all my tins and drain them all off. As you can see, that is all now really well chopped. So I'm going to pop that in the pan. And we're going to fry that until it's all sort of soft and translucent. The onions are really strong. And I'm crying. Let's get stopped for a Guinness break. Don't worry, I'm filming this early evening, it's not 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so now that they've started to cook down and soften, I'm going to chuck in the tin of tomatoes. The 3 tins of beans, they're all drained. You've got black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas. Use whatever beans you have in the cupboard. Pretty much anything will work. You can add more beans, turn it into a 5 bean stew if that's what you fancy. It's a store cupboard recipe, it's easy, it's about using what you've got. I'm going to chuck in some salt and pepper. I like a lot of pepper. Sprinkle of salt. Okay, then we are going to add 2 teaspoons of paprika, 2 teaspoons of cumin, and I'm going to chuck in a couple of teaspoons of chilli powder, I prefer the hot, but I've only got mild because that's all the supermarket had. I'm just going to chuck in, it smells lovely, half a teaspoon of coriander and a teaspoon of turmeric, purely for the fact that it's really good for you. I'm also going to chuck in just a teaspoon of veg stock powder, and then I'm going to fill up one of these empty tins with water and pour that in as well. There we go, we're going to tuck that in. So you've got lots of liquid in there. We're going to give that a good stir. Make sure all those spices are well mixed in. Do you know what? I'm going to add a drop more water. Depends how liquidy you like it. If you want it to be a thicker stew, then use less liquid, but don't forget this probably will reduce down a bit as we're cooking. Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reduce the heat, pop a lid on, and I'm going to leave this to cook for at least an hour. It will be done in about 20 minutes if you're in a hurry, but the longer you leave it, the tastier it will be. So I'm going to leave this for at least an hour, and we'll check back in on it later. I'm going to bring it to the boil and then reduce the heat right down to a simmer. My eyes are watering from the onions, I'm sorry. Reduce it down to a simmer to let it cook for an hour then. So at this point, I know I said with all my recipes, but you can totally customise this. If you want sweet corn, you could add rice, you could add quinoa, that would thicken it up a bit, that would be quite nice. But yeah, pretty much whatever you fancy at this point. You've got the basics there, you've got the basic bulk of it, the basic flavour, so then you can just customise it to suit whatever you fancy, whatever you've got in your cupboard, what your family enjoy. So yeah, we'll check back on this in about an hour and see how it's going.
Boil, my pretty.
Seriously though, you guys, these onions, I can't stop crying. Okay guys, so this has been simmering away for about an hour. I've just taken it off the heat. That looks absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to dish this up and I'm going to have a bowl full now because I'm hungry, and I'm going to make a huge mess. Look at that. That looks gorgeous. And you know what this will go really, really well with? Homemade flatbreads. There is a recipe for this on the channel, so go check that out. And now I'm going to go and enjoy my dinner.